It's time to talk about those Duelist Nexus rarities. You guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more honest content. Welcome to Duelist Nexus. Talking about the set so far and everything we know. Of course, the Magician of Bonds and Unity here. The cannot be normal summoner set must be special summoned from your hand by having 25 or more cards in your graveyard. While your opponent has 25 or more cards in their graveyard, this card will get 2,500 extra attack points and defense points. So it'll be 5,000, but this is the gimmick card of the set. This is the quarter century import, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to draw this out. I am extremely disappointed that this could have been Quasar, could have been something else, but they're going to rehash this for the next couple of sets. Buckle up, you're going to be stuck with this. Alright, probably should be an extremely cheap card, hopefully, for the collectors. So that's one big thing that I'll say about it. Most of these QCs, you might see it upwards to 100, but I don't think we're going to go too terminal with it. But I could be underestimating the collector's market here. Next up is Yield Crimson Dragon. This is the card that lets you spin itself back and calamity your opponent during their turn. This is one of the most sought after cards in this set that players are going to want to get their hands on here, strictly because it's an amazing card. And it's also going to be available in the sneak preview slot as well. So taking up your first slot, we knew this one right off the bat, but honestly, you might be looking at a $25 card strictly based on how good that this card is for what it kind of brings to synchro decks. Yes, a level 12 synchro might be a little bit hard to achieve in some strategies, but to be honest with you, I don't think there's an issue with this. I think because of what this card brings to the table for all of the archetypes, it's good. Next up is the hottest card in the set, which is Revolution Synchron. Remember, if you control or if you synchro summon a power tool or a level 7 or 8 dragon, you can use this in your hand as material. And then if you have a dragon, or excuse me, if you have a level 7 or higher synchro monster, you can mill the top card of your deck and then revive this, and then it becomes a level 1. I don't know why I said you needed a dragon for that. I feel like every combo I've seen required this, but this is going to be the card that people are expecting to be the money card in the set as of filming this video, because that revive effect on this card is nuts. Alright, this expedites Crystal Wing. This gives you the ability to toggle with Alistair the Invoker. This is the card for what you want to be able to do in this set. And once again, it is going to be the most expensive card on paper unless we get something even crazier here. Next up is Cosmic Quasar Dragon, taking up an Ultra slot. I'm not too particularly upset about seeing this in the Ultra slot, to be honest with you. We kind of expected it. Must be synchro some of the above material, so it's a tuner synchro monster plus 2 non-tuner synchro monsters. Easy peasy. Once per turn, target face-up cards on the field up to the number of monsters used as synchro material for this card plus 1 negate their effects, and this effect's activation effect cannot be negated. In quick effect, banish this synchro card, special summon 1 dragon synchro monster from your extra deck that requires 2+ non-tuner synchro monsters as material. Yes, it does get the warp out on top of the negation clause. I actually think this might maintain a decent $5 to $10 threshold. We're just going to have to kind of wait and see how the set kind of holds out overall, though, for the long part. Now, Nightmare Magician. Now, for the people that were wondering, where in the world did this come from? Well, this was first announced as a giant card. We saw it pop out through the end of the month here for the extravaganza, and then it got talked about recently here, but Nightmare Magician is one of the illusion monsters. Battles a monster, can't be destroyed by battle, that's their gimmick. Then the damage step of this card, battle an opponent's monster, you take control of that opponent's monster, and then once per turn at the start of the damage step, if another monster attacks, you can destroy 1 card on the field. To be perfectly honest with you at this stage, I'm not surprised to see this is a secret rare. Am I excited that this is taking up a secret rare slot? No. This is probably going to be one of the cheapest cards in the set. If you wanted me to tell you, hey, you know, there's some sort of hope at the end of the rainbow here, honestly, there isn't. This is the slot that they put this on the card because they're like, oh, you know, taking control of an opponent's monster, that's an extremely powerful effect. In some regards, yes, it is, but it's not the super exciting feel that you want for the archetype, but this is what we decided to do. Very, very cheap card. Next up is the Chimera, the king of phantom beasts. This is the card that gives me nightmares. Because down here, on Fusion Summon, you can activate this effect. Send a random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. This card snipes my lava golems like it's its job, alright? And during your opponent's turn, quick effect, banish this card from your graveyard. Target a beast, fiend, or illusion monster in your graveyard. Special summon. So, the whole big thing with this card is, it is the... I think this is the best card in the illusion, or in the support line for the illusion archetype. We'll kind of have to wait and see, you know, how this kind of holds up overall, but I think this is also going to be a very cheap card. And then, of course, Fusion Armament. Reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck, and special summon one of the fusion materials with a name mentioned on that monster from your extra deck or graveyard, but till the end of your opponent's next turn cannot attack, and its effects are negated, if any. So this is the thing where you, like, reveal the Dark Flare, special summon the Flame Swordsman. You can reveal the Chimera, summon out, like, the Gazelle from the graveyard. The things that have specific materials listed on them that are summonable from the extra deck is where you're going to be getting the value for this. I think this card is incredibly cool. It doesn't have a lot of crazy interactions with it. Like, your best things I just mentioned are the monsters that are in the extra deck that can summon out the other copies of themselves for the pseudo extenders. Outside of that, this card should not cost a lot of crazy money. Maybe $5 to $10. Next up is Emperor Charles the Great. This is the card that puts Infernoble Knights back on the map. One level 9 Infernoble Knight, Emperor Charles, equipped with an equipped card of cards. If this card is link summoned, you can target a Charles in your graveyard. This card's name becomes that target name, and it gains the original effects, and then equip that card to this card as an equipped card, and it gains 500 attack. And then once per turn, when a spell or trap card is activated, quick effect, you can equip one spell from your hand or face up in the field to negate that activation. So you send, and you get a negate. It's an incredibly strong card, and they only made this an ultra rare. The bad news, though, for Infernoble Knight players, though, you're going to be paying a lot of crazy money to be able to play this deck, because it's all spread across ultra rares in this set. Not only did they do Charles like this, they put Almace as an ultra rare slot too now. Almace here, when equipped to a monster, you can equip an Infernoble equipped spell from your deck or graveyard, except for Almace, to an appropriate monster you control, and then destroy this card. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, because the equipped monster is sent to the graveyard, and target one of your fire warrior monsters in banished or in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So not only does this essentially rotate itself, the entire point here is it basically speeds up the process to get you to Durandal to search. It shouldn't be too much, but Durandal's are like $10 right now, so I don't know, we'll see. And then we have the Noble Arms Museum. This is not a once per turn, by the way. I love this card. So all fire monsters will get 500 attack. Once per turn, pay 1,200 life points, add a Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand, except for the Noble Arms Museum, and then once per turn, if the previous effect is applied, you can target one Noble Knight monster in your spell and trap card zone and special summon it. And also, if you activated this effect while you did not control an Infernoble Knight Charles, you can add special summon for the rest of the turn, except for warrior monsters. Sure, I don't care. We'll be locking into warrior. This will probably be $10 for sure. Now, as we continue on along here, this is where the disappointment comes in. The Adamina here, the thing that Altergeist needed. Good news, if you're an Altergeist player, you're not going to be spending a lot of crazy money this set, because Adamina is like everything else was pictured as super low rarity. As an Ultra, you're probably looking at maybe $4 to $5 for a one-of. Altergeist got off the best that they possibly could have this set, which is actually kind of crazy to me. Next up here was evidently Dark World Corridor has been floating around. I've seen a bunch of online stores have been putting this up for pre-sale, and they're mentioning it as a secret rare slot. This lets you add a Dark World monster from your deck to your hand, and then discard one. You can only activate one of these per turn. A lot of the Dark World players are playing these as one-ofs, because honestly, it does have the restriction on it. If you could play multiple of these, it would be broken. So we'll wait and see. I actually probably believe that this is going to take up a secret rare slot. Makes sense. Now for the rest of Duelist Nexus, Tristania is going to be the absolute monster in this set. Call it what it is. You know they're going to probably take up 2 secret rare slots. We'll probably see Tristania tomorrow be up on the block here for new reveals. We'll have to wait and see, but from where I'm sitting right now, we're, like 4 secret rares into this? And with Tristania taking up a slot or two, it's... Boy, I don't know what else they're gonna put, but I'm very, very interested, to say the least. So please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think so far about the rarities of Duelist Nexus, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.